BTC been a little bit flat this weekend, but we have seen these altcoins have started to move. We've got dominance dropping. Things are pumping. 𝗡𝗠's done 100%. Has this triggered some kind of gaming move for us? Is there going to be activity there? So today, guys, I'm talking about a couple of big term or big gaming plays here for you guys. I've also got tons of other setups. I've got DJ plays for you. I've got everything here to tee you guys up for the week. Massive show today. Let's get right into it. And remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. The man is here. Rainbow Ray is not here, unfortunately, but maybe.
He's
here. It's a good start. It's a good start. Look at this. Dominated. Banter Bubbles. Dominated by DYDX and 𝗡𝗠. Now, I've brought DYDX for you guys today. Is it time to open up that can of worms? DYDX hasn't been that kind to me in the past. Maybe it is time for a little bit of DYDXing again. So we're focusing on that today. We've got 𝗡𝗠. If you're trying to long this guard candle at the moment, you are going to be in trouble. So just be careful there. I've got a setup for you guys. But overall, look, a green weekend, flat Bitcoin, interesting. We've got dominance dropping, so things are looking a little bit better out there at the moment. And before we get cracking here, I just wanted to say one thing quickly to you guys.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening.
Happy Sunday. Okay, let's get into the stuff. How's your October going? My October is about 8.1% up at the moment. So finally, things are looking good after basically wrecking us in the beginning of October. So October is now fully on track. Nice to keep track of this guy. And who knows? We might get our all-time highs on BTC before the end of the month. So that is going to look really good for us. But I must say, this is how I was feeling now this weekend. We had that pump on Friday, and it was one of those where you scramble for some of your altcoins. You scramble for a couple of setups when the market starts moving. And how many of you experienced this thing where the ones you jumped into basically retraced or didn't do as much as you guys were hoping? And this really just sums it up perfectly for some of the tokens I traded here. There we go. That was a couple of trades of mine on this weekend. I think 𝗬𝗎 was one of them as well. And a nice little full round trip there on 𝗬𝗎. And right now, maybe I'm going to do another round trip on Poppies here. You can see I've got Popcat running for the World Series of Trading competition. I've got a hedge SOL short. I'm going to show you why I'm hedge short on SOL at the moment. Then I'm still long AVAX. I'm long GRT. And we're hoping that it's a gentle pullback here, because otherwise they're going to come and round trip me again on this WSOT. So we're hoping for a bullish continuation here, and that should really start firing up things at the moment. So let's get right into BTC here. Let's see where we are, because Ray and I are both short-term short at the moment on BTC, and I'm going to explain the reasoning behind this for you guys in a second here. Let's take a look here at BTC. And you can see I've got my easy algo on here as well. And I'm going to talk to you guys through that in a couple of seconds. Let's take that off. So this is BTC on the 2 hour that I've drawn up here for you guys at the moment. And you can see we have our beautiful fun line that we've been riding up for the last week or so. Beautiful little ride up. Finally, we're getting some consolidation on Bitcoin, a little bit of consolidation. What has happened here? We've lost the rising trend. We've retested. And now, is it time for a short-term move to a little bit lower here? Is it time for 66,600? So that is the question I'm asking myself. That is why I'm in that head short on BTC. That is why I'm in that small head short on Solana. And then I'm still short Doge, believe it or not. I'm still sitting in a Doge short at the moment. I'm still holding my WIF short that I spoke to you guys about probably a week ago. So that thing is still playing out. And now if we do get this little dump on BTC, then things should be okay. So those are just hedge plays that we got right now. But you can see my thinking behind this current BTC situation. Now, remember, we are in the middle of a weekend. It's only the middle of Sunday for those of you in the States, and anything can still happen. So let's just identify some levels to the downside here. Number one, 66,600. That is a hot zone here for you guys to watch. If we do get a sharp move now in the next couple of hours into that zone, that is a long zone for me. That is where I'm closing that BTC short. Then if we do send it a little bit lower, I've got a high conviction zone here for you, 65,100. That's an absolute banger if they are going to send it down. But look out altcoins. If we drop to 65,100, there's going to be pain. There's going to be stops hit, all these types of things. So just make sure you are prepared in case there is some kind of nuclear meltdown here on BTC. So to the downside, you are covered. Then to any pushes to the upside, and I'm going to just clarify this, guys, for you now on the 3-day chart as well, but it's 69 to 70K. This range or this region here is quite a dangerous zone if we do pump into that area. And I just want to show you this quickly on the 3-day chart that I've got here for you guys. This red dotted line here that I've put in for you guys is quite a big level. Look at all these 3-day candles sitting on here. You can consider this a weekly level here on BTC. So it makes sense to me that we do struggle in that zone. You will also remember last week, I've got a 786 pool in this region as well. And the 69.5 looks like trouble for me on BTC. But the plus side of this thing is when we do eventually blow through that 69.5, this is going to make great bullish support for us. That is really going to be a nice little zone where we can really start using as solid support. We want to buy that with confidence. When we do get that big pump through there, any sell-offs, any rejections, we're going to look for buyers at around about 69K, 69.5. That is going to be a big level for us that we can start using going forward. And most likely a region for me where then I can start adding to my current BTC long. You can see I've got my scalp ETH long from Friday. Let me know, did any of you guys grab that one? That little scalpy play on ETH, that thing is still running. We finally had a little pump. And then here's my BTC position. So no changes there. When we do break that massive level on that retest, I think I'm going to start adding to this position. And let's see if we can really start increasing that size on BTC. So all is well so far from the higher conviction BTC play. Short term, we are short now, looking for that little rejection. And then the ETH breakout play, we are going to talk about that in a couple of seconds. So just to recap some of the meme coins that I dropped for you guys on Friday, 2 of them I've really taken note of here. This DTI is up 42% since I gave it to you guys on Friday. And remember, it's a short-term election play here. Anything can happen. We got elections in 2 weeks. It was one of my small cap Trump plays, and this thing is now up 42% from when I brought it to you guys on Friday. So, I mean, look, it's not a 10x, but it's a good start here for us. And here's Klaus. I brought to you guys Klaus. This is also 40% up since I brought it to you guys on Friday. So that thing is doing well. Hopefully, if you were a buyer on Friday, maybe take something off the table. Maybe you just want to de-risk there a little bit. Maybe some of your initial capital out, something along those lines. But a nice little start from 2 little memes, little pump there for you guys. So that is looking good from that front. And then the 𝗙𝗎𝗟 letter just telling us what is happening this week. And look, it's not a massive eventful week here. We don't have CPI and things like that, but we got jobless claims. That normally has a little bit of effect on the market. We got home sales, not that great. New home sales, a little bit boring. And look, so it's not the super exciting week. They are talking about 15% of the S&P companies do have earnings. But the only interesting one here for me maybe is Tesla. That could have some kind of effect on the market. We've got IBM. That's also a player there at the moment. So yeah, I'd say a relatively quieter week on the S&P for us. And, let it do its thing. Let it grind up. If we get good Tesla results, we know Tesla's one of the top shares there. That might help this thing start churning a little bit higher. If we get bad Tesla earnings and maybe there's a bit of negativity, then naturally the S&P, there is going to be a little bit of pressure on that one. So we'll watch the S&P as we go. The upside target for me is still 6,000. So no changes to that current situation. Now, there's a couple of things we need to talk about here today. Number one is dominance. And you would have noticed this weekend, your altcoins have suddenly started looking a little bit better in spite of BTC being flat. And this is dominance on the 15 minutes. So you can see we finally had a little bit of recovery here on these altcoins. Look at that beautiful move there on dominance. Now we can see a little flag forming here on the 15 minutes. Is this going to be the start of more dominance downside? So that is something exciting for us to look forward to over the next 24 hours or so. Let's not forget, though, where is our big dominance level? And if we zoom out on the weekly, we can see the big dog is 60.4%. That is a massive area for us. We need to be a little bit cautious here until we get our proper rejection of a major region. Now, I remind you again, this is weekly candles here. Look at that. We got about 6 or 7 weeklies in that region. This is a massive area for dominance. So I do expect at some point dominance is going to push up to that 60.4%. And that is where we are looking for our main rejection there. And that is where we get our proper altcoin rally that we are looking for. So anything we happening now at the moment feels a little bit like noise. Okay, it does feel a little bit short term, but as long as these alts are grinding higher, net higher, then we should be okay. So a lot of the levels we're going to talk about today, hopefully some of the pumps that we've seen on things like Ondo, Sol, these types of things, hopefully now they're going to hold new levels that I'm going to give you guys that we can watch. And hopefully we can just manage any types of pullbacks that we get here. They could give us some golden entries here on some of these altcoins. So first things first, let's talk ETH. What a banger now. I mean, we did tee this one up last week. We were saying when we see this consolidation of these altcoins, when we see them sitting just under a major zone, sometimes it's time to have a quick little look there. Sometimes it's time to have a look and maybe just a little scalp, take a little bit of risk on in case we get some kind of squeeze. And you can see ETH has had a nice little pop here for us on this downtrend. You can see this trend was started on the highs in August. Little rejection here. Second rejection we had middle of October. Now, is this a sustainable break? Are we going to get this break? So you can see what I've plotted here, these yellow dots. This is now the projected easy algo weekly pivots for next week. Now, remember what we like to see. We like to see these weekly pivots trending up. That tells us we are bullish. And you can see last week's or the current week's pivot is at the lows here at 2,400. Now we've pushed higher. Nice big push here on ETH. And they are projecting that our weekly pivot now is going to be in this type of region. And remember, these new pivots come out at about 2 a.m. my time. So that's in about 6 hours time from now. So these are projections. Once we get our new weekly pivot prints, that generally tells us how we are going to get it teed up for the week. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail in Sniper Club in our private session after the show later on today. So ETH looking good here from this perspective. Potential weekly pivot. If we can finish above this weekly pivot, that's naturally going to be nice and bullish for us on ETH. And then we want to see these levels hold, and we want to start. We want ETH at 3.5K. I think it's about time that the ETH bonus really started paying off. So shorter time frame things. If you guys remember, this was the setup I gave you on Friday, and we took a little bit of risk on. Naturally, we could see. I was saying we were looking for a squeezy setup here. I was buying ETH sort of around about these types of levels here, looking for that pop. But we saw this weekend we had a very tight consolidation in this region. We are still holding this anchored VWAP. We are still holding the trend. So always looking relatively good there for us on ETH. And now we did finally get our pop today. So I just want to highlight a couple of things we're looking for here on ETH. If anybody is still in this ETH trade with me, what you can do is you can raise your stop to under that breakout candle. Let's just see where my stop is sitting at the moment. So my stop is currently 2,608. If you want to de-risk, you can basically bring it back to your entry. That's going to be about 2,630, give or take. That will de-risk you completely if there is a market meltdown now. And then what can we look for now? What can we expect today? So it depends on the size of the pullback we get from BTC. And naturally, we're going to watch dominance very closely here. But there's a couple of regions. 2,675, that is a little candle zone that we can watch. 2,675. Then the big one for me, 2,650. If we do drift lower in here, that could be a new entry for you guys, because remember, as long as we're not losing the horizontals here, as long as we're not losing that trend, we can remain relatively bullish here on ETH. So it's when we start closing under these types of levels that we start zooming out again, we go back to our bigger picture, and then we say, okay, we're back at 2,500. That is what we're looking at again. Until we lose these types of levels here, until we lose this rising trend, we remain bullish on ETH. We're expecting this thing to start pushing higher. So anything down to, for me, anything down to about 2,630, that type of region, looking for that to hold, then we're bullish. Then we're bullish on ETH, and things are looking a little bit better there for us, finally. And now, guys, you know that we are trading the WSOT at the moment, and on ByBit. I know some of you guys didn't get involved in that ByBit competition. There was a bit of a barrier to entry, but we have started the ZoomX comp, and I'm going to give that my full attention during next week. So don't forget, you only need $150 to trade the ZoomX comp with me. It's very simple. And it's a P&L based competition. It's literally your profit percentage. Okay, so that really brings us in there. For $150, we can start trading ZoomX. We can win this competition again. And I'm going to make sure that I'm getting you guys some kind of prizes if you are sitting in my ZoomX team. Now, we had a great competition last time, and Sniper Paul, the WIF trader, he won that one. I wonder if he's going to come back and smash us there, trading WIF again. So jump into the link in the description here, ZoomX, and there's no KYC. You can trade on this with me, and there's a couple of little bit of information here on the competition, but the most important thing here, it's $150 you need. And then you're in. Okay, so sign up to my link. I'll make sure you guys get some kind of special prizes here for my team. The top 3 are definitely going to get something out of this. Okay, so join me, grab that link in the description, and let's get cracking. Now, a lot of attention on Sol today. And finally, I mean, my high conviction Sol trade, I mean, this has been a tough hold for me. I've been sitting in this thing for, Ray, how long? About 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I've been burning through the Sol position. I mean, at one point, I mean, that thing nearly stopped me out. My average entry is about 132, give or take. And now we are starting to push. You can see in best answers, they just dropped Sol versus everything today. I mean, they like literally everything. And Sol is clearly outperforming. Look at this. Nia, Link, Sui, Algo, BTC. I mean, the list goes on. Sol has been a proper performer today. Scott, I agree with you 100%. The Sol train is on. And I mean, Bruce is going to be pretty happy with that. Now, the problem is, okay, it's not a problem. Okay, this is a great fucking problem to have, because that is one short that I would love to be stopped out on while I'm sleeping, because then I know my bags are pumping, my bags are ripping. But if we stick to our principles and we stick to our system, Sol on the 12-hour, massive rejection zone. Danger area for me. Isn't this interesting that Sol is at a resistance band? BTC is nearly at a resistance band. Is it time for a little bit of a TP on Sol, or does this thing start rolling over a little bit now? Is there a short-term dip on Sol? So it remains to be seen what happens in the next 24 hours. You've seen my small head short that I've got there on that WSOT. Let's see how that plays. Big resistance band here for me on Sol. Anything up to 164 is a danger zone. So if we do get some kind of pump now later on, look out for a fake out. Look out for a fake move into 165. Look for that hard rejection. If we do get that hard rejection, new buy zone coming on Sol round about 150, 153. We'll have to pull some fibs, but that is definitely going to be the next play. So if we do get that dip, next play 150 zone. Okay, we'll confirm tomorrow if we do get some kind of rejection. We'll confirm exactly where that is. And then just a reminder, my game plan for that big Sol position that I'm trying to build is if we do get a strong break here, proper break. I'm talking 168. I'm talking 170. Some kind of rejection. That is where I'm buying more. That is where I'm adding to that Sol position. So we're going to be super patient on this one. Let it break up. When we get that nice pullback, we're going to get a pullback when it eventually rejects. That is where I'm adding to that Sol position. And we're going to start riding this train higher. And then we're going to take Sol to levels. Okay, proper levels here. 190, 204, 210, and then anything happens after that. But right now, let's break through our 160s. Let's get through that convincingly. Let's find support. Then there's a new trade on for us. And don't forget all the Sol memes, all these things as well that are going to start popping off all over the place. You would have noticed Whiff has been a little bit tired. Popcat's a little bit tired. A couple of other things. I think they're going to wake up again once we start breaking some big levels. Okay, we're going to get into some gaming tokens. I just wanted to update you guys, whoever's trading Ondo with me as well. I've got an Ondo situation here. This is Ondo on WeX at the moment. You can see this thing is really starting to grind now. Okay, this thing is really now paying off the patience, grinding this trade out. Now it's starting to work for us, and we are $3,000 up on this one. The size is now $20,000, and I want to give you an update here on Ondo. I want to tell you where I think this thing can be going, and I'm going to tell you where I'm going to TP. So this is Ondo on the 1 hour for me, and you can see our current situation. We've really just climbed the ladder slowly. Been a nice little game plan here, a little bit up, a little bit up, a little bit down, that type of thing. You can see we're in a nice little trend here on Ondo, and today we've had a strong bounce. So our big support we are watching today, 77.47. That is a huge one for me, 77.47. You can see we are double topping at the moment. So if we do get some kind of fall over here, I would love to see that hold for me. I really don't want to get rinsed on this Ondo, but I do have my upside target. My upside target is the big one for me, and that's where I'm going to be fully out of this trade, is going to be 0.86. So 0.86. Want to see that grind. That will be front running the 200-day MA. You can see that over here, and then also taking out these wicks on the 1 hour. So that's a nice little zone there for me. Possible short in play in that area as well. And we'll look for it when the time is right. When we get there, we will deal with it. But right now for me, that is the zone. 0.86. I'm going to be fully out of that Ondo position. Let's see what happens at that type of region. Right now, you can see your support. And then one more danger zone here for you guys. Look out for a fake out, 0.83. So just to confirm what that could potentially look like here, let's just clean that. Any pushes up now? Okay, if we do get a hard push, look for a fake out through 0.83. That could offer you a rejection. Then we get our ride up to that next zone. So just look out for that type of scenario. If they are going to play that, just be a little bit careful here at the 0.83. But Ondo, nice little banger. Remember, Ondo is one of your RWA narrative plays. So if you are building a portfolio and things like that, and you want exposure to gaming, AI, all these types of things, Ondo is one of my favorite RWA plays, and always a great little trade to have. Also, Pendle, also quite a nice one that you guys can play with. But Ondo generally responds pretty well when the market is bullish, and expecting a little bit more out of Ondo. So that is that on Ondo's front. Now, let's talk about GameFi and things like that, because ApeCoin is just absolutely ripped. And Asa just saying, GameFi is the meta you can't ignore if you want a position for Q4. Okay, I don't think the man is wrong. Currently 16 billion market cap from gaming contributes to the global crypto market cap. Anyway, long story, bullish on gaming. I think if the market's bullish, you need a couple of gaming plays. I think it goes without saying, just like you need AI, just like you need RWA, you need a couple of solid gaming plays. And for those of you that were watching whatever was going on here, ApeCoin, remember Bored Ape? Okay, they turned into an actual business. They turned into an actual thing. And Ape Chain has finally been launched. Now, the strange thing about this is the market has known about this for ages. It's not new information that this was coming. And Ape has been getting absolutely abused over the last 6 months. This thing has been absolutely rinsed out. I mean, at some point, they were bottoming out here at 0.48. Absolute abuse on this Ape coin. But now they have come alive, and maybe it's time to start paying attention now. Finally, okay, they've launched their mainnet. They are live, and there's a lot happening now on this project. So if you are jumping in now, okay, you are playing big risk games, okay, massive risk games here. If you are trying to play this one, I know somebody who likes rainbows sitting in this room is actually trying to short this thing currently. Oh, there he is. I was talking about, right?
I'm not trying, sir. I'm not trying. We're successful.
He is. Look at that. He's 92% up trying to short ApeCoin. What a savage. What an absolute savage, this man. And okay, so you can see the game plan. Yeah, he's trying to short this thing. So just be very careful. But what I want to give you guys here is if we are now bullish on ApeCoin, which I think it actually could be now. Okay, they're live. They've shown, they've proven, they've survived this bear market. They look like they know what's going on. They look like they know how to run an operation. And right now, this thing is rejecting. But I've got a big area here for you guys. If you want to accumulate some ape, if you believe we got some bigger things coming, and I believe there might be, what you need to look at, 1.32. It's a very simple game plan here. It's a 382 tied in with a nice, strong horizontal level on the daily. So we know this will be a big reaction zone for us. Look for that. 1.32. That is a zone for me. That is a zone of interest there on ApeCoin. If we do go lower, this is a really juicy zone for you. And in fact, I just want to highlight this. We've got these horizontals here as well. Banger little area. I've got my 618. I've got an anchored VWAP in play here as well. In fact, I've got 2 anchored VWAPs in play, and I've got my 200-day MA. So another absolute banger here for you guys at 1 for ApeCoin. So if you want to accumulate some positions, 1.32 and 1. Those are your bangers. 1.06. That is where you need to be. That is where I think you get some buyers in on this thing, and then it sends. Now, remember, if you want to be an absolute degen, what you need to do is make sure you watch my show, okay, every single day, because I'm not giving you a degen setup on ApeCoin. We don't have enough structure yet, but when the time is right, when this thing calms down, I'm going to break it down into 1 hour plays for you guys. I'm going to give you some degen leverage plays. Right now, what I'm showing you guys now is accumulation zones. If you want to DCA, you want to do these types of things, those are the levels that you guys are going to be watching. I see Brian is also up 80% on his ape short in 1 hour. Guys, okay, this could be, it could be a banger short. You guys could be literally killing it right now. Let's see. I mean, we got another 10%, 13% down to the first bounce zone. So make sure you are grabbing your TP1 at least at 1.33. It looks like a free ride down to that type of region. Then your next one is another 30%. Raymond, are you going to make 30% more on the same? Are you going to hold, bro?
22x, times 22.
Where are you sending it to? What's your target?
I mean, at least half of the move. 50% down.
Okay, that's 1.06, give or take. Okay, so guys, there could be another 20% here. I wouldn't prematurely close this one, but just play it safe. Okay, so
don't be silly now. Don't be silly. TP.
Hold it, bro. Just go for a round trip. Some very important information here for you guys, and I actually forget to say this. Okay, there's a certain way you need to watch my show. If you want to really take advantage of my show, we were actually talking about this offline earlier today. If you want to watch my show, what you need to do is actually focus. You need to block out this time of the day, and you want to take advantage of this thing. You need to pick maybe 2 or 3 of the setups that I give you guys. You need to take notes, literally take notes. Set your alarms on your charts, mark the stuff down. Some of the setups that I give you takes 2 to 3 days to play out. And now remember, within 2 to 3 days, I could be talking about other tokens on my show, and I haven't gone back to those types of things. So if you really want to maximize your time, if you're watching my show and you really want to maximize it, take some notes, set alarms on your trading view, pick 2 or 3 of your favorites. Don't pick everything that I give you. It's almost impossible to trade all of these setups. Focus on a couple, make sure you're taking notes, and literally, just focus on it. and then you will get the full benefits out of what I'm giving you. Now, we might not be talking about ApeCoin on Tuesday, but it might be hitting those levels on Tuesday. Then we could miss a potential bounce. So make sure you are marking those levels on your charts. Now, let's talk a couple of gaming tokens that could be actual rippers. Now, if gaming starts waking up, let's look at a couple of things. Let's see where we can maximize. Now, I've literally dusted this old dog off here, and 𝗙𝗓𝗟 is back. Okay, he's back on the map. And I thought, let's talk 𝗙𝗓𝗟. We know what's going to happen here. People are going to come back. Okay, gaming's going to take off. People don't understand fundamentally whether this is an old shit coin or not. We know. Okay, so they're going to come and they're going to trade what they're familiar with. Now, remember, 𝗙𝗓𝗟 was an absolute banger in 2021. It was an absolute beast. And this thing has got a long way to go. So I just want to highlight number one. Okay, look what this thing has done. Okay, look at this. This is actually quite offensive. I mean, look at these highs. Look at this stuff, right? Look at this
piece of shit. Unbelievable.
Absolute piece of shit.
Gonna go down like that?
Absolute piece of shit. But okay, what I'm telling you, there's fundamentals here. Okay, the market doesn't care. Okay, when the market gets bullish, the market doesn't care if it's fundamentally worth whatever somebody could say it is. They get hyped into these things, and people will look at the chart on 𝗙𝗓𝗟 and they will say, well, fuck me, this thing has been at 2021, this thing was a whatever 100x from where we are now, and people are going to start grinding this thing out. So our first one I want to bring to your attention is 𝗙𝗓𝗟, and I've got the daily play just to give you a perspective as to what we could potentially target in the near term. I'm talking now in the next few weeks. Okay, first one 8%, next one 22%, big one 55%. Okay, so very simple game plan. And Crypto Mob says, my son says, hi, hello. What's happening? Say hi. Let's say hi. Give him some bullhorn there. Okay, so 𝗙𝗓𝗟, you get short-term targets. Now, I'm not even going to waste your time giving you what this thing can do. Look what this thing did in March. Okay, look at this. Okay, 250% from here. And don't think they can't do that. Look at this. This was exactly, where were we? October, a year ago. Look where we were exactly a year ago. Look where we were sitting on this absolute shitcoin. And what did the market do? 365%. Okay. And I agree with Gang Loaf. Okay, Gang Loaf. Guys, if you like the content, hit the like. This is free alpha for you guys. All you need to do is like it and make sure you subscribe so you get the notifications as well. Okay, so 𝗙𝗓𝗟, you've got your...
And then join Sniper Club. Hold on. Let's add to that. Make money from the trades and then join Sniper Club.
Correct. Okay. Use the alpha I'm giving you. Make some money out of it. Take your profits, okay? Because I give you banging entries, okay? It's up to you to take profits. Take profits. Join Sniper Club, okay? It's for free. If you use the alpha, make profits, join.
And then put the profits in a ledger after that.
Okay, guys. Okay, so we're digressing here. Okay, so 𝗙𝗓𝗟, you've got the picture. Okay, you understand where this thing could potentially go. And now, what do we do? Okay, so right now you can see 𝗙𝗓𝗟 is teeing up on the daily. It's looking okay to me. It's setting up in one of my little squeezy setups. You can see I love these types of setups here. And eventually, when we get these types of things, we get some kind of pop out of these types of zones. So 𝗙𝗓𝗟, I want to identify number one. You can see currently we are sitting at resistance. Okay, so this is now typically a danger zone, okay, that you want to pay attention to. Now, you zoom in and you say, okay, if 𝗙𝗓𝗟 is bullish, and the market is going to turn bullish this week, and we get a short-term Bitcoin pullback, that's reasonable. I'm talking 66,600, nothing more than that. Okay, we should see 𝗙𝗓𝗟 hold a couple of levels. So the first thing you want to identify here is that 𝗙𝗓𝗟 has broken on the short term. 𝗙𝗓𝗟 has broken some horizontals, bang, bang, bang. Okay, now we've got our little rejection. Now we are drifting down. Where's the most obvious play here that keeps 𝗙𝗓𝗟 bullish for me? Zone number one, 0.023. 0.0237 down to 0.0233. Okay, hot little zone here. If we start bleeding into that zone, that could be a slightly bullish area of interest here for us on 𝗙𝗓𝗟. Then we zoom out and we say, okay, if we hit that zone and this thing fires, that gives us our trigger into our next zone on 𝗙𝗓𝗟. Then we start playing this game and we start sending this thing a little bit higher. So this is how we hunt for these entries in these high rejection or high risk reaction zones ahead of us. So if you're looking for some kind of action here, this could be a bullish entry for you. 0.0233 on Gala. Watch that zone. You can see we've got a rising trend in play as well. And you can see my MDX wave master just turning over here. So it's telling us that this needs to come down. So just give it time. Let it come down a little bit here. When this thing starts turning, we're going to tie that into some kind of horizontal. Hopefully it's that one. If it does drop a little bit more, it's most likely going to be your 0.022. So that is your next one that you're going to look for that reaction. Look at this. I've got an AVWAP here as well, looking quite nice. A little bit of horizontal, nice little zone there for us. So look for that wave master just to reset there at the bottom. One of these zones there, you're going to get your ping, you're going to get your bounce, and then that could be the start of a bullish move, and then that opens up all these targets. Now remember, you can play the same game every single time you get to a new resistance band. So if we do push this one a little bit higher again and we start popping here, a little fake out, then you look for that consolidation, you look for that pop. Same story here, 200-day MA, look for that, and then look for that pop. And you can play that game all the way up on all of these altcoins. So all you need to do is just dial in, set up a degen setup. If you don't know how to do them, watch my show every single day, because every single day I'm giving you 2 or 3 of these types of degen plays. Now, some of them naturally don't work because the market needs to remain bullish to remain in that uptrend. So if the market goes short-term bearish, then we lose those trends, then we find new entries. But that is how you're going to play that game in these types of areas. Okay, so Gala, you are covered. Now I've got another banger that I'm a fan of this beam. Okay, I got lots of the spot situation on Beam, and a nice little gaming platform here for us. So first thing I want to point out here, Beam on the daily. I think this could be a banger for you. Nice little inverse head and shoulders situation here, and things are looking okay. I see Osteo Chris bought on the 618. Okay, well then he knows what he's doing. He's obviously applying the science. Now, we've seen some proper pumps out of Beam over the last few months. Let's just go back in time and just start looking where we are. Let's take a look. November 23, what did we get out of Beam? We got a nice little pump there, only 220%. Then where were we? At the lows in February 24, that was this year. The gaming narrative took off. Another 160% there on Beam. Then we had a little dip here. When was this? May. Little pump there, 75%. So we know Beam's a pumper. Okay, the narrative's got to be right. The timing needs to be right. But if we're talking gaming and gaming is going to start taking off, you can see gaming has been lagging a lot relative to many other sectors that we are watching. So gaming, for example, Beam, loving this vibe. Now, if we zoom in on Beam on the daily, I just want to give you a couple of danger zones. So you got some work to do from a daily perspective. You can see we've got a big horizontal here ahead of us. That is our danger zone. So we're watching ahead of us, we're watching 0.0195. 0.0195, that is your big danger zone. When we start breaking that thing convincingly, just like I've shown you on that Sol trade, any retest into that zone is going to be a nice big trade. Now remember, you can also get perps on BMEX as well. So there could be a leverage opportunity coming here for you guys. And when we do blow that 200-day, now that 200-day is a very bullish marker for us. When we start clearing that, then these alts typically start accelerating and they start moving pretty quickly. So right now you can see that is resistance for us. Look at our last rejection that we had there off that 200-day, a strong rejection there. So once we break that, then we are turning super bullish on Beam. And we got a couple of upside targets, but first I just want to show you what you can work with now. So on the daily, you can see we have broken a little trend. Okay, I've identified this trend. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on this trend. And you can see we are sticking our head out today. Okay, so this could be an opportunity for you guys. What you can use is a close under today's daily candle as a potential exit zone. So if you're looking for a move here on BMEX, what I can suggest here is you've got a danger zone ahead of you. So understand that your risk to your upside, okay, 10% to the upside. If you're jumping in here, your risk to the daily close, 6%, okay? So your risk reward on this initial move isn't that strong because we know we've got a major rejection zone ahead of us. That is when we zoom out and we say, okay, where's the next big move? And you can see these candles here to the left. Look at that, beautiful candles here. We can take these guys out. What we need to do, let's blow that 200-day MA. We're going to have a nice risk reward play for you guys here. That's going to be like an 80%er that we are teeing up for you guys. So Beam, if you want to start playing around in a position, you've got your level, you've got your exit plan. If we close under today's daily lows, maybe this thing's turning a bit bearish with Bitcoin and sending a little bit lower. Once we break that 200-day, there's a big move coming here on this Beam. I'm talking 80%, maybe higher. Okay, but that is what we're watching there. We need to secure that 200-day MA as our support. Ray, just take over 1 sec here. Ray, just talk some shit for 1 second. I got to plug in my Mac.
Here's some shit talking. Oh, I see. He's just plugging in his Mac. How's everyone's weekend going? Is anybody liquidated? Are we still in the ape short? Actually, they're pumping it back up a little bit now. Let's see what it does when it gets back to my entry. Pray to the moon. Thanks, Alex. And how do you guys feel about all this gaming? Are we going to go to the moon? Or are we going to pull back? And how about this China stuff? Thank you for the likes. 5454, haven't died yet. Take a look at Tia. Fuck that piece of shit. Tia. I mean, the will pump though. Somebody's gonna sell 75x. Pepe, are you long or short, James? What's going on there? Looks like I might need to share my chart in a second. Give Dylan a moment here. My ape entry is at 15899. That's my entry on 22x. Where's the smoke? The smoke is not near me, or we would be lighting it up. What is Zai doing? Let's see.
Okay, I made it back. I'm in one piece.
Back. Nice. Okay,
guys, critical error. Never don't plug in your Mac while you're streaming live. That thing's gonna bail on you. Jeez, I had like 1% left. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Very, very bad mistake. Okay, cool. So you've got Beam. You've got the game plan there on Beam. Let's go next gaming play that I like. Nakamoto Games. I've spoken about this one before. It's a little bit cultish. This one. Okay, there's a cult behind this thing. There's a big driving force. There's a big community behind this thing. And this is Nakamoto Games on the weekly. And I just want to bring it to your attention again. I know I've spoken about this one a couple of times here for you. And I just want to highlight what is going on. So right now, Nakamoto on the weekly. Now, you guys remember again, I just want to highlight where we were last year or beginning of the year, January. What did we get out of it? 177%. Then what did we get in October last year? Exactly a year ago. Look where we were sitting. We got 400% out of this thing. Okay, Nakamoto Games, is it going to wake up? Election time, macro situation looking good, Bitcoin all-time highs, gaming comes alive again. What do they do? Okay, Nakamoto Games is one of them on my hit list here. And what you can see, we are squeezing between the 200-day MA. Look at that, bang, squeezing between the 50 and looking for some kind of pop here, obviously to the upside. The bull in me wants it to pop to the upside. And we are looking for a nice little push. So right now, weekly downtrend, we are at resistance. When we start getting a strong break, for me, this thing is on. Okay, this thing, we are looking for some moves here. And we're going to use that 200-day as our support when we eventually crack that. And we're going to start sending this one. I've got an 80% upside target here for you guys. If we do take out the highs, simple little move here, 160% give or take on Nakamoto. So stuff is happening here. Right now, your support, 1.04. You can see I've got 3 weekly candles there. I've got the 50-day moving average. This is a hot little zone here for you guys. So watch that horizontal support there, bang. And you can use that one. When we blow that 200-day MA, then we are going to start getting some juice out of this thing. So I am expecting a little bit higher there on Nakamoto. So something to watch. It's on my hit list here, just like Beam, loving this thing. And I think this could be a proper mover. Then I've got another banger for you guys. Now, if you were part of Sniper Club, you would have noticed that we've spoken about this prime chart. Now, we've got a top researcher in Sniper Club. I must just remind you guys, there's so much going on in Sniper Club with regards to fundamentals. We got a proper researcher there. I'm going to show you his Twitter here today. And I've got him to start sharing some more alpha on his Twitter and all these types of things. But he's dropping bangers in the Sniper Club for you guys. He's got all sorts of things running there on building portfolios, building degen portfolios, meme portfolios, AI portfolios. He's doing regular Zooms. He's doing great work in there. And Prime was one of the charts he actually asked me to plot out for Sniper Club in one of our Zooms not too long ago. So Sniper Club members already got the entry on this Prime. You can see we highlighted this entry zone not too long ago, and that was the 7.6 region where we were looking for a bounce on Prime. Now, if we zoom out, we know Prime has got a lot of upside potential still. And just to highlight where we were again earlier this year, let's just compare this to Beam and those types of things. At the lows in January, what did they give us? 300%. What did they give us in October? same story. Lows in October, 300%. Okay, now we're October. Do we get a move? Is this thing going to start churning? I think Prime should be on your watch list. At the very least, should be on your watch list. And right now, just like Nakamoto Games, what I can give you is support on Prime. The support that you want to use on Prime is the 50-day moving average. We have just broken through that one now. So that is looking relatively bullish from that perspective. So what you want to watch there is 8.67. 8.67. You can use that as your current support now on Prime, but you can see it's got a little bit of work to do. But when we start breaking this trend on Prime, then we are going to get a little bit more action on this guy. So let this thing start churning higher. Look for that 200-day MA. Remember, that's a big one for us on Beam as well. Look for that rejection, but we've got time on this one. There is lots of time here on Prime, but if you want to start accumulating, you can see the data, okay? 300%, 300%. At some point, this thing starts ripping again. So that is something you want to pay attention to. And then let's just talk some upside targets here. Well, most obvious for me is this wick. You can see most likely come and take this wick out again, or at least visit a portion of it. But what you can also do if you want to work out targets, you take your fib from the high to the low and you try and identify where does your 618 tie in. Does it tie in with some good horizontals? And you can see here's a nice little juicy target for us on Prime at around about 19. So it could be a nice little churner there for you guys, and could be a mover. Let's see. I see Adam's got some Prime spot. I agree. I think it's a banger. And Scott says CAS is Prime. Now that thing has been slapped around, but I think it had a decent reversal last week on CAS. Who else is sitting here in the chats? I see James is here. Never misses a show, hey? And something reminds me of Waynesville. What leaving Ray there. Fuck, sorry, guys. I mean, I literally had like 1 or 2% left there. That was we nearly lost the entire show. That would have been a nightmare. Okay, so let's get into a couple of other things. So this is DYDX. Now, it's Popcat ripping. Don't lie. Let's see. Hold on. Poppies! We did it again, right? We did it again.
That's fucking crazy.
Let's fucking go. I fucking love Popcat. Okay, we'll deal with this just now. This was one of my charts I wanted to give you guys. Hold on. This is one of the trades I had for you today. Okay. So what I wanted to tell you guys is here's Popcat. Okay. MDX Algo Master has printed the third TP. Okay. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. MDX Algo Master TP1, TP2, TP3. We had our reversal. You can see our Wave Master pushing up. We had our reversal. We've now broken. Okay, this is quite important. This is what I wanted to share with you guys now today. We've broken our trend. We've broken our horizontals. Okay, so we've broken horizontals. We've broken trend. We've broken the anchored VWAP. Okay, this is key. This is key information here for us. So if you want to be in it, or if you are in a Popcat position, you can use this breakout candle as support, 1.267, and then a little bit lower down, you can use 1.258. Go Popcat, go! Fuck, I love this token. I'm literally fucking dominating this thing at the moment. Okay, so off she goes. And if you're looking for a big rejection zone, you're looking for a big target, this is danger for me. 1.34. Okay, look out. Double anchored VWAPs here. Horizontal, 1.34. Danger, danger, danger. Okay, very big danger zone there for you guys. 1.34 is what you need to watch. Okay, so you got your support on Popcat. You've got your resistance band. Look out in that area there. And I see Richard was trying to get Popcat. 𝗬𝗓𝗓𝗓 always tries to short this thing. 𝗬𝗓𝗓𝗓, bro, stop shorting Popcat. Just wait for the entries. They come. And then this thing bounces. Everybody's trying to get Popcat. Okay, well, this shit's all going down. Okay, it's all going down here at the moment. So Popcat, good start. You can see your danger zone. Okay, let's see. And you've got your support that you guys can start watching. Okay, so Popcat, sorry, DYDX fans, we're digressing there. Popcat, you are now sorted on. Now, let's talk DYDX. Now, something's happened here. Now, DYDX, I was putting it into the corner of absolute shit coinery for so long because I took a couple of trades on DYDX and they never really took off. One of them stopped me off. A couple of them stopped me out, and it actually became like a joke that DYDX was an absolute shit coin. They always had so many unlocks. There's always like something going on with DYDX. Now today, you would have noticed there was a little bit of news. Okay, they've launched prediction markets. Okay, so what is a prediction perp? They're basically saying it allows traders to gain exposure to the outcome of real world events, elections, sports, cultural events, anything. Okay, so that's bullish DYDX. It means it's bringing more users onto the exchange, and there's potentially a little bit of action happening on DYDX. So I just want to highlight here The weekly, is it time to get spot bags of DYDX? Now that they've broken back into a major weekly zone, I suspect it's not a bad shot. I don't think it's a bad bet. And if they've got more people now active on DYDX, maybe this thing's going to start making a little bit of money. Okay, so DYDX, what you need to watch now, we've broken back into a big weekly level here. And what you need to watch for support now is the level 1. You're watching 1. Where can this thing go? I just want to give you guys a couple of targets that I'm looking at for myself here. And the first zone, 113%. We're looking at 2.24. Next zone is 194%. We're looking at 3.11. Now, the last time we got to these types of levels was in March when we had the last market pump. So that was March 24. Can they go back there? I believe they can. Okay, in bullish market conditions, yes, they can. What do you need to watch? You need to watch your weekly support. And we have broken back into this weekly support band. So that is now a big zone for you. So watch 1. If we start closing under 1, then the market is not good. Okay, the market is not a good look. And things are turning bearish again, then we reassess and we start finding new entries. But right now on the weekly, you can use 1 as your key support. Let's see if this thing starts grinding higher. And you can see my wave master here. Look at this. It's bright green at the bottom. And this thing has started trending higher now. So maybe it is time for a nice big move on DYDX. So something to watch. Keep your eyes on this thing. You know, a little bit of spot bag here or there. Maybe the odd DGen setup we can start looking at on DYDX. But I think there's a couple of nice targets here for you guys, and it's something to start paying attention to. Okay, now let's talk about Kerwin. He's our hot researcher in Sniper Club. And you guys, you need to understand what is going on in there. Okay, other than the trading setups and all the stuff that we're doing all day long and the other trading channels and the 10x challenges and the whole team that we've got in there, we've got a shit hot researcher. Okay, and follow him on Twitter here. This is Crypto Dreamer. Follow him at DreamBiggerOX. Okay, follow this man, DreamBiggerOX, and he's dropping alpha and all sorts of things, and he's dropping like such quality in the Sniper Club. But today, he's talking about AI and meme coins. Now, I know he's a bit of a degen, and he loves AI, and he loves meme picks and things like that. And he's talking about Tao and Nia as some of his top AI picks. He's talking about Ponky, Brett, Giga, and Mog as some of his top meme coins. That is something to watch. I must talk to him. I'm quite upset he doesn't have PopCat on here. And I need to get some poppies on there. And then he's dropped a wealth creation strategy that he's doing. And he's got lots of systems and setups for all the Sniper Club members. So make sure, Sniper Club guys, I mean, make sure you are taking advantage of this. We've got our own library with pre-recorded alpha and videos, all for you guys that he's doing for everybody in there. You can fast track everything by just following what Kerwin is giving you guys. So he's given a meme wealth creation strategy. He's told you what he's done, and he'll explain that all in Sniper Club in more detail for you guys, and all his little systems in play. Now, I know he's a fan of AI, and I wanted to talk about some AI today. And here is GRT. This is one of the positions I'm trading in the WSOT at the moment. And you can see a nice little pump since Friday, but not out of the woods just yet. So I'm nervously watching GRT, okay? Because here it is, okay? A PopCat! Okay, so I'm nervously watching GRT. You can see it's at the bottom here. It's $364 up. I've been nursing this position the whole weekend. Okay, up, down, the whole story. Now, we finally got a little bit of a move out of GRT. Now, I'm hoping this thing is going to start breaking higher. My target for GRT is the rising trend. So that's 0.20 is what I'm looking at for GRT. I'm looking at this push. That is going to be my ultimate TP here. Just like you've seen Ondo, I've got the 200-day MA, I've got horizontals, those types of things. That is what I'm looking at for GRT. So in a perfect world, I want to hold this position to try and get it up there. Okay, we don't always get what we want. Okay, it depends. If Bitcoin falls over, we're going to get smashed. But what I've got is a degen play for you guys. How do we get there? Okay, and this is now GRT on the 1 hour. So first step, we zoom out. We can see GRT on the daily, resistance. Okay, this is a trouble zone. This is a danger zone for us. Okay, if we want to be a degen, we say, okay, maybe this thing's going to consolidate under this resistance. If it starts popping higher, I know my next target is X% higher. So let's just confirm where that is. Okay, we know if we get this pop here, our next ride is 17%. So then we go, okay, cool. Let's look at this thing on the 1 hour. Let's try and find a little entry zone. So now you can see what happened today. We had a mega pump on this thing and then quite a big sell. Okay, so that was a little bit disappointing for me that we had such a big sell. So my first region of interest here for you guys, what you need to pay attention to, look for that. 0.17. look for that type of region for your bounce. Okay, 0.17, that type of zone, anywhere in that area, as long as we are holding the rising trend. You can see we've got our rising trend here coming up, holding that. As long as we're holding that horizontal and rising trend, there's a chance that GRT is going to start churning a little bit higher, and then we can start tackling those regions to the upside. So bigger picture, that is what you're looking at. Zoomed in, where's my best entry? Risky entry, 0.17. It's a degen play. We want to try and ride this thing higher. So we want to catch this little dip and then start looking for that push up. So 0.17 is what you're looking at on GRT, and there's a possible 17 to 20% move there for you guys if you do catch that one. So that is what I'm planning for. That is what I'd like to see on this WSOT account here. That will obviously now start pushing me into some good levels there in the competition if we can get that going. If this falls over and loses trend, I get rinsed. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, so that is the game plan there on GRT. Then Tower, I spoke to you guys about this one on Friday. And this is, again, another example, guys. If you take the notes and or at least mark these levels on your charts, like on Friday, I gave you an entry on Tower on Friday. I gave you 2 zones of interest for Tower. One of them is hit. Okay, this was the one that hit earlier now. I think it was earlier today. And look at that, bang into 550. That was our region that I gave you on Friday. Looking for a dip there, 550. They hit 549.1. Okay, so nice little start there. So that triggers your initial trade. That always gets you into your position. Then if it bounces, then you can make rational decisions up here. Now we can see we are at a resistance band. So this tells us we could reject down. Okay, we could go to our high conviction zone, which is 500. That is our next big area. Or alternatively, now that you're positioned in the trade, you are ahead of the game. So the minute Tower starts breaking trend, if it does start breaking trend, you're in a nice, comfortable position now. Because if this thing breaks trend, and you start adding to this thing on any pullbacks, your average entry is going to be so low. It's going to be down here, somewhere there, and your stop is pretty much going to be at entry. So if you do get that retest, you basically got a free trade and you've doubled your size and your position. And then you're looking for that bigger push up. Okay, so that is why I put so much emphasis on these big impact zones, these reaction areas. That is why I love sniffing around these zones. That is where we get some of our best entries on some of these altcoins. So right now, Tower, you can see we are pushing into trend resistance. So this is a danger zone. If you are looking for longs, you are in danger here until we start breaking that horizontal. So your key support, 550, watch that zone. If we do break higher, your buy, okay, really is going to be that retest. You're going to buy it at 580, 581, somewhere in that region. That is where you're going to buy Tower. So look for that pop, look for that retest. That is your most safest sort of degen play that I can give you guys on Tower if this thing is going to move. Remember, it's still at resistance. BTC falls over, you're fetching Tower this week. Literally this week, you're going to fetch Tower at 500 if BTC falls over here. So look out for that. That is on the table for you guys. And then, okay, so Popcat, we've covered. Go, Popcat. Guys, I must apologize. I was late. Okay, I was late on Popcat for you guys. I had it geared up for you. It started running a little bit early, so sorry. Okay, and then here's our potential BNB short setup that we are playing with at the moment. Me and Chaos, we're looking at this one and looking for this thing to fall over. Okay, so BNB, any pumps into 600 to 620 could be a fun little short opportunity here for you guys. And a very simple play. Where does it get invalidated? Remember that keyword invalidated is if we close above 620. So candle close above 620, then that short is off the table for me. But for me, any pumps into 610 to 620 could be a nice banging little short opportunity here on BNB. Okay, so that is that. And guys, remember, very important, I'm using MDX Algo. I'm using Easy Algo. All these things are in the show description for you. If you want to try them out, there's free trials going on with these things as well. All you need to do is just go into the show description. It's all here. Easy Algo, MDX Algo, the Wave Master, all that stuff that I've just shown you. It's here for you guys. Okay. And things are looking good with the whole shopping list. Everything is there. And go shopping. Okay. Sniper Club, guys, I will see you in 30 minutes live on Sniper Club Zoom. Massive session. We play beats. We look at setups for the week. We laugh. We have a great time. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging. We'll see you tomorrow. Regular show for me tomorrow. Catch you guys later.
Are they gonna liquidate my fucking ape short now? Seriously?
Did you get liquidated?